This was not on accident. I did this on purpose. I didn't want to hear your small talk.
Is that what you did? Just skipped out on it? You don't want to be part of the small talk? Okay. Well, that's fine.
Note first next time.
Next time.
I'd rather miss it out too. So. And welcome everyone to episode 155 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We are your hosts, Kenny, Stefan, and Anthony.
Hello, Kenny. How was that for you?
Man, that was kind of weird. I was like Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm going to have to watch that movie now again.
Your voice is a little bit deeper, a little more grovelly than a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello and welcome.
It's better than what I was going to do. You know what I was going to do?
What?
In absence of Steven, I was going to go, hey!
And I could yell you guys because Shannon said I sound like the Kool-Aid man anyway.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say oh yeah anymore. She said I have to clip that out.
I'm banned from saying that.
So true story. I'm hanging out with Kenny the other night and Darsh, right?
Yes.
We were having a little hangout, having a couple of drinks, and Shannon comes downstairs and tells me very pointedly he is not allowed to say "oh yeah" anymore. If he says that or talks about his old Louisville pick, you have to cut it out of the episode. Yes, I was like, dang, man. So on one hand, I'll say this. I'm happy that Shannon is listening and as dedicated as she is. But on the other hand, I don't think we can limit you from doing what you do best, right? We can't limit that.
Oh, no. You cannot.
Oh, no. So what are you doing, sir? I mean,
Dude, today is nuts. Like today, it just fell apart. So Steven's not here.
Right.
Some kind of emergency going on. Don't know what that is.
We have no idea. Good. We hope he's okay.
You were 40 minutes late because you had a crazy emergency in front of your house.
Right. Can I just stop and pause real quick? No, go ahead. You tell me what was going on with you.
Well, then in my house, number one, got off work late. Had a really late customer. Got off work like 40 minutes late. I get home and our air conditioner is broke.
Oh, no.
So between the three of us, we've had some chaos going on. So
I was going to say.
You go ahead and talk about yours because I do have a shout out for mine.
Okay. The listening audience probably thinks we're just these people that roll in, record, and it's that easy. But we're real people that have real problems. So in my neighborhood, I don't know how to describe this. We have a
entrepreneurial.
Well, well, here's the thing. So some folks moved in, tried our best to get to know them a little bit, that kind of stuff. And there were some shady things that I observed going on, but I wasn't quite sure what I was seeing. Because I'm just like, professor goes to work, comes home. Did I see that? I'm like, I don't think I saw that. And so, so a little naivety on my part. Mm-hmm. And so today.
Let's just say recreational is not legal here yet.
Yeah, there you go. Don't blow the cover, Kenny. So anyway, my son and I go on a bike ride. Okay. It was like, he said, can we go on a bike ride, Dad? I'm like, yeah, I got like 10 minutes before I gotta leave the house to record. Let's go on a bike ride. So we go ride up our street. We turn the corner. And as soon as we get to like what is considered to be a main road in our neighborhood, the police have somebody pulled over. So he's like, oh, should we go by? I go, it looks fine. Let's just go by. And we turn around, come back around the block, come back down. Then we turn onto our block and the police procedure, whatever's going on, moved from the road on the outside to our neighborhood. And now there's 4 police cruisers there. And this is something that's serious that involves that neighbor. Yeah. And so I wasn't going to leave my house while that was going on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So Steven unknown, me had the po-po putting somebody to clink.
Was it Steven though? Maybe that's why he's held up.
Steven.
Oh, okay.
Right. I looked out the window like maybe that's what's going on with Steven. No. And then what the heck happened with your air conditioning, man? Because I don't know if you know this, but part of my existence is actually I moonlight as an HVAC complainer.
Ah, okay.
Not as a person who can fix them, but a person who has a lot of problems and complains about them.
Well, so I got a text today about 2:00. I guess Shannon got home, and although our AC was set for 70, the house was up to 73.
Oh.
And don't get me wrong. We've had times where it's 100 degrees outside with crazy humidity, and it just can't keep up. Well, today it's not that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's 73, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So she put a call in to the company that installed the HVAC a couple years ago. We got set up for a service call. Well, then just before I get home, she tells me that the wall unit the actual thermostat is dead, like totally dead.
I know what's going on here. I can already diagnose it, I think.
Tell me.
No, do you want me to tell you and see what you think?
You tell me, and then I'll tell you if that lines up with what it was.
Okay. So if your wall unit ever goes off on your house, because I've had everything happen to me, there's usually, because in Kentucky we have hard water and all kinds of other stuff going on, there might be a clogged drain line or like a clogged drain pan. And
that's what it was.
Oh, you got it. Oh, man. So go ahead. Take it from there. Okay.
So I'll just give a shout out. So Jamie Clark with Synergy, and I think it's Synergy Homes, but Synergy.
I've heard their stuff on the radio.
So he's the one. So my AC died totally during COVID.
Okay, which is not a good time to have your HVAC.
Not a good time. So although number one, it was hot. It was that week that we had a couple years ago where it was literally 100 degrees.
Oh yeah,
for 5-6 days in a row,
frying egg everywhere. Yeah.
So I couldn't use my main guy that I used to use because he was booked out like 6-7 days.
Okay.
And 100 degrees, man. 6-7 days. I mean, it's just, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So Jamie came to the rescue, got me a good price, did a great job on install. But I've also used Jamie for our radon mitigation.
Okay. Oh, basement. We're in a basement.
We're in a basement.
Got to mitigate that radon.
Yep. Yeah, do not want a third arm. We'll just say.
Is that what happens?
I was going to say third breasticus, but I did not want to say that. I didn't want you to have to edit that out.
A third hard nipple.
But so he did that, and then also put in a whole house air purifier system that goes on my HVAC.
Oh,
so it just kills just dust mites and allergens and bacteria and viruses and all that kind of stuff.
That's why I can nose better when I'm here, because it's pure air.
That's right. If you're Navage, like I tell you too, you can nose even better.
Are we going to advertise for anybody else?
NAVAGE.com.
So did you call him? Is that what ended up happening?
So I texted him, because I texted him earlier about it, and he's like, yeah, just, talk to the girls, talk to the guys at the office, whatever, da-da-da. So I texted him, I got home, like, man, the thing is totally dead now. And he said, hey, sounds like you have a clogged line. So I go, and mine goes to like a condensation pump.
Okay.
And it pumps out. So I checked to make sure that line wasn't clogged. It wasn't. Pulled the PVC out, put a shot back up to it, and then all of a sudden the thing came back on again.
Nice.
But so shout out to Jamie at like literally way after hours, texting me back and taking care of me. But also just shout out. I mean, he's done work at my son's house, done work here. They do solar.
Okay.
I was going to get him to do solar a while back, but not sure how long we were going to stay in the house, so I just didn't do solar yet.
Right.
But no, they do great work. If you're in the Central Kentucky area, man, they put customer service. I mean, like when you get service with them, you get constant communication. It's a text of the picture of the technician showing up. It's
nice.
Just constant communication.
Did you ever get a picture of the text showing up and you're like, I don't like that mustache. Maybe I want a different text to show up.
No. But
it's silly.
Where's Steven? Where's Steven?
But no, hey, listen. Now you're telling me about this. I think I'm going to have to give them a call if I need them for anything in the future, because there are companies who will go, yep, we got to send a tech out. We have no idea what's going on. The tech comes out, fires up their shop vac, cleans your PVC out, and goes, that'll be $400. And you're like, thank God you got the air back on. You're like, praising, God and everything that the air is on, not knowing that you just spent $400 on something you could fix yourself. Yeah. So that's really nice of him to.
No, it was awesome. Man. It really was nice. Yeah, I really do. They do. And same thing. Not saying they're the only good ones around. Yeah, but they so far for me, they've done great work at my house and my son's house. So appreciate you, Jamie.
Awesome. Well, sir, in absence, I had big plans to talk about the fact that UK basketball is filling out a roster now.
Dude, we got another one.
Who did we get today? Did we get somebody else?
I just saw it flash up, but I was busy. I was slammed at work today.
Well, you know what I got excited about was that we got that guy. What's his name? It's Otega Oio.
Yeah.
I just dramatically said that. It's like Owe or something like that.
Was that you that sent the video of his highlights?
Yeah, dude, that guy's
legit. Yeah.
He's like a man.
Well, today we got some big center, some 6'11", 6'10".
Is it the Wake Forest guy?
The Wake Forest guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got him.
What is exciting about these guys, not to belabor the point, and I mean, some of our listeners probably tune out here, so I won't go too long, is this. We've been watching essentially very, very talented high school all-star teams come to Lexington, and we pray that it's going to pan out. Now, I could say that knowing that we're probably going to have, probably 2 top 10 picks in Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd, but I'm more excited for Kentucky basketball now that I know we got some dogs coming in, guys that have 2, 3, 4 years experience. I think one's a grad transfer. I think the big guy you're talking about is a grad transfer. And I'm watching these videos. These guys are fighting for every single ball. And I'm just like, I like the flash and everything, but we're in for a different brand of basketball coming up. So I kind of
I'm
like
excited.
what's going on with Pope.
No, I'm excited for it, man. Really am. Super
and then
excited.
football's quietly making noise too, bringing in all kind of players, man.
I was already excited for football anyway.
Ooh, well, they're going to be.
I like Stoops.
Yeah, I mean, what month is
Coach
it again?
Morrow.
Yeah, they're awesome. We're going into freaking May here, and I'm worried
Just so
about
the listeners know, it is April 29th when we record this.
April 29th, 1992. I'm just joking.
Hey.
I'm doing a little Sublime reference, even though it's actually, he says April 26th, but the title of the song is April 29th, 1992, where he talks about the Rodney King riots.
Gotcha.
One of my favorites of all time. Yep. Good jam. But anyway, starting to go off track there, I just wanted to mention that never in my life, since I've lived here, since 2011, have I listened to KSR daily because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with basketball. And now I am. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not that great of a Kentucky sports fan, but I'm in it now. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't listen daily. I listen just occasionally here and there.
I'm a daily listener now. Go figure.
There you go.
Feeding the Matt Jones beast.
Well, Anthony, my man.
Yes, sir.
We had a good time this weekend. It was fun.
We did. See, Kenny.
Small get together, wasn't huge.
It was small, but here's the thing. Kenny always invites me over when he has interesting people coming into town. And this was a gentleman I met before.
Yeah.
And when Kenny said, you want to come hang out? Of course, I'm always going to come hang out if I can. And I wasn't sure if I could, but I was happy I did. And our man Darsh was in town.
Yeah, Darsh has a ridiculously incredible palate, and he's very smart. He's Mr. Wizard, man.
I've never
on whiskey.
Yeah, I've
not
never
just bourbon, like just whiskey.
Whiskey,
in general.
yeah. I mean, I got a master class in Irish whiskey. I got to taste like 40s Bushmills.
1940s, and then we had a 25-year Marsala cask,
right,
from them, and we had his Cavalon pick, which I know we've talked about it here because that was the episode that we recorded.
Irish.
that we had a Taiwanese whiskey. Yeah. We were going to record an episode Saturday,
right,
on that pick specifically, but it just didn't work out timing wise.
Yeah,
we were going to record that. We'll probably revid that and try that
at some point in time. I mean, that's such a unique whiskey.
That story, though, the story behind that is just silly sick. It's crazy. But
did you want to mention anything about the surprise guest that showed up?
Mr. John Walmsley. Yeah, dude. It was fun. Fun times.
Yeah,
there were some great pictures taken that night and some funny memes made after that.
Yeah. And his buddy Nick, that was his first time, I think, hanging over here ever.
Oh.
And he got a little masterclass education, but it was just funny because you could tell they like stopped over thinking we'll be here for like an hour.
And they were here,
They were here for like 3 hours.
Walmsley stayed the night, man.
Yeah.
But Nick just kept his eyes were just, he couldn't quit looking around the room. He was kind of like shocked.
Around and around.
Fun.
But what about that dream cask that Darsh brought too, man? That Redbreast dream cask? That was crazy. That was one of the last things that we tried before I took off.
I did not try a dream cask. I don't think he brought a dream cask.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a first on the mashup. Kenny's always making fun of me and telling me I don't remember having things
Darsh
at his
right
house.
now.
So he's going to text Darsh right now if he responds, and we can figure out. But I'm recalling the last drink of Irish whiskey that I had, compliments of Darsh, was a Redbreast Dream Cask, which was absolutely outstanding. And I look over at Kenny, and he says, I don't think that we had that. So...
I'm texting him.
You may have been into it a little bit longer than I had that day. I'm not sure. But if I'm right and you're wrong, then, all the times you made fun of me when you're like, oh, I've had that before. And I'm like, no, I've never had it. And you're like, yes, you did over at my house.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm texting him and seeing because I don't remember that. Well, Anthony, I noticed last week's episode.
Yes, sir.
There's a new little drop of sponsorship there.
Absolutely. And we like to do that before we get to our review and shout out. And I want to remind everybody, we always do, to visit bourbonoutfitter.com and enter code the mashup for a special discount at checkout. That remains the same. But also, we don't want you to forget about our newest partner, which is the Woodwork Collective. They have a catalog of really unique whiskey, as we said last week, and they have very special barrel finishing processes, source some great stuff. So if you go on over to woodworkcollective.shop and enter code MASHUP, when you check out, you'll receive a 15% discount off your order. So go visit them today, sign up for a newsletter, buy a bottle, and don't forget to use our unique checkout code MASHUP.
Yeah, they're going to keep growing. Your For our listeners that aren't familiar with them, you will become familiar with them.
Right.
Yeah, they're one of the ones that's going to be becoming larger and larger and larger and larger.
You will atone. No, I'm sorry.
If only there was a review. If only there was what?
There is another review.
Oh my goodness.
So this one is, I would say, a pretty special review. And actually, while we're doing this, breaking news, Stephen might be joining us for this episode. So if you hear Stephen come on mid-episode, it's because he is now on the way over, ladies and gentlemen, building the suspense. But back to this review and shout out. So the title of this review, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, was Long Time Listener. Here we go. He says, for authenticity purposes, this review isn't all about Mr. Kenny Mills. I couldn't find Dad's Drinking Bourbon anymore, so I had to find a filler for a spot, and I landed on the mashup.
Well,
that's funny. There you go. I'm just kidding. You guys were always in my rotation. You had me at hello and welcome. Kenny does bring a hilarious Kenny Powers angle to the show.
Oh, boy.
Trust me, you don't want to interview us. It's not going to go well for you. He said, you guys get a 5-star out of me for your honest takes and hilarious banter and suspenseful blinds that have me on the edge of my seat. All I ask is that you give my homies, the Bourbon Hunters, a podcast 5-star review in return. Come hang out with us in December at the Woodford Hotel during the annual Bourbon Blitz. Cheers, fellas. Sincerely, your podcasting friend, JD, I think it's Fritches. Okay? And his username is Chateau Whamdram, and he left us this review on 4/25/24, so pretty recent here. And that
was pretty cool.
That is really cool, and I'm excited. Did we just get an invite to something?
I think so.
I think we are officially invited now to the Bourbon Blitz.
I am going.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be honest here. I am familiar with the Bourbon Hunters podcast. I've listened to a handful of episodes, and I think that they have a very similar vibe to us, where there's a couple of guys sitting around reviewing bottles. They do have some systematic nature to their podcast, and I believe they're Ohio guys as well. So I get that little connection with them as well. So I could have that all wrong, but I will say this. We will be leaving them a review. I'm starting to work through more of their catalog. Like I said, I consume a lot of different bourbon media, and I do know that they have great takes on their show as well. So I believe JD's part of that.
Well, I will be at the Woodford Hotel with pocket pours.
That's
so
right.
Get ready.
Get ready, because if you're serious about that invite, we are going to bring some bangers, and we are showing up.
I mean, pocket pours, will it be an 09 GTS or will it be Old Stubborn? We'll have to see.
You're going to bring the Old
will
Stubborn.
It be Malorts?
We're going to be blinding people with Malort and Old Stubborn. But no, we sincerely appreciate that review.
Really cool review.
That was a really cool review. When I saw that, I can tell you exactly where I was at. I was sitting in the cafeteria at UK eating, and I looked
a sandwich that some chick rubbed her finger on.
I was eating a sandwich that somebody rubbed up and down, and I saw that review, and I was smiling ear to ear. And that was just really tremendous. So thanks so much for listening, and we are going to get you back here soon. And if you'd like a shout out, just remember to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and we will give you a shout out next time we record.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
I could not say what I wanted to say. My wife said I can't say it anymore.
You can't. Kenny is prevented from saying, oh, yeah. I'm going to make you say it again. Don't you worry. All right. So, Kenny, are you ready for this bottle this evening?
Yes.
So,
this killing me.
So tonight we have a very special bottle.
Okay. It actually is.
It's actually in the title. It's a special bottle. But we have the brand new Old Fitzgerald 13-year-old Bottled-in-Bond, which was given the VVS distinction, which is very, very special. This comes to us from the Heaven Hill Distillery. The bottle date is 2024. Oh, did you get that? There you go. Very nice. The ABV is 50. Proof is 100. The age is 13 years. The mash bill is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. The MSRP is a whopping $235.
Good luck at finding them for that, though.
Right, and that might bring up the first sore spot of this entire evening. So you guys know, who've listened to us for a long time, in episode 120, we reviewed the last decanter release, which was the 10-year-old Old Fitzgerald, which was the spring 2023 release, but it didn't come out until fall of 23. That was the last time we had our hands on a Fitz, and I told all of you that I'm a Fitz junkie, right?
Yeah.
So you know the bourbon
loves them.
junkies? I'm a Fitz junkie. So the fact that I'm holding this bottle right now is very exciting because this does not have wide release yet. It has only been released at the distillery, correct?
Yeah, and I haven't even. I mean, they list how many bottles are in the batch.
I have heard that this one is going to be between 5,000 and 6,000 bottles.
Dude, that's not much at all.
That's not a lot compared to what these have been before.
That means, I mean, dude, it's not going to be super limited.
Right. That's what I heard. And
Super limited.
we're going to have to talk here in a moment about what the history is of this bottle. And before we do that, what do you think, Kenny? Do you like this bottle dressed in red? Because we have the traditional ones that are green, and then I don't know why they gave some releases
And black.
a black label.
I actually love the red because of the color of the whiskey.
Okay.
I like that. But I honestly don't care as much about the color. It's just that's the sexiest bottle on the market.
Right. I think we may have said something similar last time, but these Fitz decanters, for the longest time, at the beginning, for me, it wasn't about what was in the bottle because I think I told the story, so I'm not going to relive the past. The first time ever I got my hands on was the very first release, and I'll be honest, I didn't think it was that great. I opened it, I drank it, I shared it, and I was just like, it was all right. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. And then unfortunately, the very next one I got, I loved, and then I found like I got to collect the vertical now because these are just so sexy. I want the whole vertical on my shelf. And so I definitely went and did that, but due in large part because of this bottle being so amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, let me tell you another quick story about this bottle. I have empties of these, of course, that I've saved because I've drank multiple of them.
Yeah.
And recently, a graduate student and his brother-in-law were in town, and they're bourbon people, so shout out to Josh and Martin. And they came over for some pours, and Martin saw my empty Fitz decanters, and he was like, how much you want for one of those? I'm like, you know how much I want for one of these? I'm like, I'm not going to make you buy an empty bottle from me. I'm like, you're legit going to, what are you going to do with it? He's like, I'm going to turn it into my own infinity bottle. I'm like, cool, man. And so I gave him one of these empties so that he could start his own infinity bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
You trust him?
Yeah, no, I told him, I said, I go, he could verify this. I told him, I said, no way, man, you're not getting an empty. I go, I'm going to drill a hole in it before I give it to you. He's like, well,
Right.
defeat the purpose. I'm like, I trust him enough to give an empty. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was hilarious. Yeah, he was excited to have it. So we had some good pours during the weekend, but we talked a lot about these Fitz decanters. So
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I land a little bit the opposite of you on these.
okay,
I just, like I said, I just have to look at secondary pricing. Always look at secondary pricing.
Right.
Because even if I got it at retail, the value is whatever secondary is.
right,
And in general, they never live up to what the secondary is for me.
Okay.
So although I think they're beautiful,
right.
best looking bottle, I don't have any. So
Why do you? Okay, so I remember very distinctly one of the first couple times that we hung out. I was here. There's another guy here. I don't remember his name. But we got on a topic of Fitz, and I, gleefully offered that I have a Fitz vertical. At the time, this was only a handful of bottles. It was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I can't remember. Both you and the other guy said, "Oh no, I had some of those. I sold all of them."
yeah.
And I was like, "Well, why?" I'm like, "I think it's solid juice." And you both were kind of like, not really, not for the money."
In a blind, I don't think these hold up great.
Okay.
Compared to other bottles at their pricing point. The 8-year was my favorite of all of them.
Oh,
Now, I've not had what a couple people say is the coveted 14-year special but you said you didn't like that one much anyway.
I didn't either. No,
But the 8-year has been my favorite because here's the thing, like it's watered down to 100 proof.
right,
A lot of Heaven Hill stuff is higher proof, from what I mean, they have low proof, obviously some too, but
right,
they go into high entry proof. They seem like a lot of their stuff gets pretty hot. So the older the year on these, and if it's higher proof and then they got to water it down to 100 proof, you don't ever water out that woody oakiness.
right.
So the 8-year to me tasted better because it just wasn't as oaky and like over oaked and over woody.
Right.
I don't mind some oak if it has a lot of other flavors that go with it. But when you water it down, you water down all the flavors, but the oak is still about as strong, it seems like. And that's why I'm not a big fan in general.
Yeah, and when we tasted a 10-year, I remember being extremely disappointed. None of us liked a 10-year.
Right.
I said, I'm going to buy
I was shocked.
just for the vertical.
Because I thought I would like it,
Exactly.
being younger like that.
And we thought it was oaky. It was kind of like the same notes that you're talking about. So we thought that, and I said, I'll buy this for my vertical, but I'm not buying like multiples to drink. It's not one I'm going to drink.
I relate this similar to Old Fort. Now, this is for me.
Okay.
Not talking for the podcast. I relate this kind of like Old Forester birthday bourbon.
Oh.
If you just, bro, I'm not saying they're the same, but I relate it that way.
Yeah.
Now, if you put this next to Old Forester birthday bourbon, I think this is going to be better. But it's that same relation where this is a $250 retail,
right.
Secondaries $400 to $700 depending on which bottle. Old Forester birthday bourbon's a $150, secondary $600, $650, whatever it is.
Right.
But if you put an Old Forester birthday bourbon in a blind, it does not hold up well.
Okay.
I think if you put this in a blind, I don't think it holds up well.
Okay. Well, before we get to tasting, I have to, I'm going to take you at your word, and I'm going to say this. I think I am a little bit of an outlier. I do like wheated bourbons, and I have enjoyed multiple of the offerings from this series. That's just the way I feel.
And that is also a thing. I do not like wheaters the way you do.
Right.
So our listeners, if you enjoy wheaters, do not listen to me.
Well, no, it could be.
I'm just saying, in general, wheaters are my least favorite.
Right. But it's not universal because I just told you I didn't like the first decanter release. I haven't had all of them. I haven't drank all of them, but I've had 17, 19, the green 14, 15. I've had a lot of them. 8-year.
Hike.
So, real quickly, the reason why this 13 has so much buzz and is such a hot bottle right now is because Heaven Hill explained that this is released based on the 25th anniversary of them acquiring the Bernheim Distillery and the Old Fitzgerald brand. So this is special tanked bourbon.
Correct.
Like a fish tank? They had it in a fish tank for a long time. No.
The sucker fish.
They had it in a tote. So what they did was this was distilled in 1999, aged for 13 years. So what's that, 2012? And then they thought it was exceptional, so they emptied it into some kind of a tank, right? Because it was exceptional. And they said they were holding on to it for something special, which is probably why there are only 5,000-6,000 bottles of it, because I can't imagine they saved like so much juice here that they could do like a wide release with it, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where things... Oh, we have somebody joining us. Steven! Come on down. Are you okay?
Hey, guys. Nice to see you. So this was not on accident. I did this on purpose. I didn't want to hear your small talk.
Is that what you did? Just skipped out on it? You don't want to be part of the small talk? Okay. Well, that's fine.
Nope. First, next time.
Next time.
I'd rather miss it out, too. So
it's just going to be
me, Anthony, from now on.
Beginning of the episode will just be me talking. The smooth sounds of my voice. There you go.
Coming at you
no. That's so.
Stephen did miss that talk.
One thing you missed is Kenny's no longer allowed to say, "Oh yeah."
My wife hates when I say that.
Yeah,
she hates when I talk about my old Louisville pick.
Yeah.
So when do you say "oh yeah" to your wife?
No, here. She says I sound like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, I got you.
So she won't let. She told Anthony that last weekend.
That one went over his head.
Oh, well, she told Anthony last weekend. She's like, he's not allowed to say it. If he says it, you got to edit it out.
Yeah,
so
she did.
I've been saying different things now.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
Oh yeah,
but you're just in time to say your key catchphrase.
Hello.
No.
The other one.
Oh, good. So, fellas, you ready to go for first nosing?
There we go.
There we go. Let's get us going here.
All right. So Anthony did talk about this being distilled a long time ago, 1999, and tanked. And honestly, although I told you my opinion in general on Old Fitz, I don't own any because of just for the money. I just don't enjoy them as much.
Yeah.
And the beauty.
But the bottle, we talked about that. The bottle is by far the best bottle. But I am up to 4 of these.
4?
Because somebody I dearly trust in bourbon said this is the 100% best tasting Fitz. And I trusted him on that. Went ahead and bought 2.
Oh.
And now that I tasted it the other day, last weekend,
right.
I went ahead and bought 2 more. So I am definitely liking this one. I've not blinded it against much other things.
Right.
You know, we talked about blinding obviously all the time, but this tastes to me really, 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 really good. Haven't had it, but I only had it that one time last week.
Oh.
So we'll see how it goes tonight. I might have just been, might have been the power suggestion then as well. If only there was something else to pour it up against tonight?
Oh, well, do you know what I did on the heels of your proclamation, sir?
Ooh, what?
So when Kenny proclaimed this is the greatest Fitz in the history
ever walked
the earth, I could not let you off the hook, sir.
Okay.
So I brought a bottle for both of you.
Uh-oh.
And I hit it. And here it is. It's an Old Fitz.
Oh, that's a black label.
This is the 15-year from fall 2019, and this is actually the one that I think is the best. Okay,
Oh.
Ooh.
it's one of my favorites.
Crap.
Have you ever had
Deathmatch.
it? Have you ever had it?
Are we going to just, do we need a blind or are you just going to pour it?
Well, can we blind it, or how are we
If you
going to
want,
do this?
it's up to you guys.
Do you want to blind this?
That's fine.
We've already nosed this one though, and I'm getting these sweet, nice sugars like cream cheese
We'll just drink it.
and berries. You just want to drink it?
I'm fine either way.
You
Whatever you
want
want.
it? Okay. Well, I'm going to open this.
All right, open it.
And just for our listening audience, this is a sealed 2019.
Actually, we got a blind to do. You know me, we got a blind.
We do have to blind it. But while I'm opening it, I'm just saying that we do it like this on the mashup. And so we don't care. We're not talking about what this bottle's worth on secondary. I think this is, what, a $500 bottle? It's getting opened.
Is that it?
That $500-$600? It's getting opened. Wow. Those pores got bigger.
Can I?
Oh, they're in smaller glasses.
Turn?
Yep, you're good. All right. All right, so everybody, we just blinded each other. I blinded those two, and they blinded me. Oh, so you know which one's which?
I do know which one's which.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we are blind here. So we have the black label Old Fitz 15,
From fall 2019.
fall 2019.
And we
The
have
brand
the brand
new
new one.
This is Bernheim, supposedly, they say, too.
Yep.
So-
It's supposed to be some of the first stocks that they grabbed from there, right? Like when they first distilled, when they got it.
I know those Bernheim ryes are amazing. So Bernheim Wheaters, I guess, too.
Oh, yeah.
Although they had that You-Do bourbon, but I think that was wheat whiskey, maybe. That was Bernheim.
Right.
I did not enjoy it very much.
So, gentlemen, have you started actually nosing these? Because in my first two whiffs, as we spill the glasses, I'm just joking, because we had already poured the 13 and I did get my nose in that glass a little
Yes.
bit,
Yeah.
I think it's easier to tell from the nose which one the 13 might be.
Okay.
However, I'm not worried about that because this is a blind, technically. And even though it's a single blind and we know what these bottles are, I still think I'm holding out hope that, first of all, I've not tasted a 13, or if I tasted, I don't remember what it tasted like at your house that one time. And the 15, it's been a long time since I've had it. I think the last time I had an open bottle of this was over a year ago. So,
Well, to be very, very, very fair,
yes.
Saturday when Darsh and Walmsley were here,
Right.
I went upstairs and poured a blind and brought it down.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, where you got bourbon upstairs too? And you had no idea what it was. And that was actually double blind.
Oh.
And once you took a drink, you're like, ooh, I like this. That was your exact words.
Right.
So that was double blind.
Right.
So we know you like the 13. But
Okay.
it'd be interesting to see how you like it compared to the 15.
Specifically because I fanboyed out about the 15. So, what's coming out of your right glass and left glass, gentlemen's?
I'm getting notes of cinnamon bread. I'm teasing.
No.
No, I'm teasing. I'm
You're
starting
teasing?
to nose.
Oh,
I do get some cinnamon.
so,
I
yeah.
was gonna say I feel like the left one is
Yeah.
like really dark caramel in wood.
Okay. Yep. So, what's interesting now is I'm letting these breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And they both have really nice noses, but I think slightly different. And I don't know if I'm able to tell which one's which, but I'm going to guess that the oaky, more caramel one is the 15-year, maybe. And the one that's more like a cinnamon cream cheese frosting, which reminds me of Old Fitz. The one time only time I ever got to taste Old Fitz, like Stitzelwell or Old Fitz, was with the Big Mossick, and that was a delicious, delectable treat. Tasted like a cinnamon swirl bagel with cream cheese frosting on it. It was just so good, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of that nose from that right glass. I don't know if that's a little bit heavy, with some berry notes as well.
I'm ready to taste, man.
You ready to taste?
I'm ready to taste. I'm ready to do this. Oh, and we talked earlier about my air conditioner. So I'm going ahead and...
Where did that come from?
well, it's two things. Typically when we record,
Yep.
turn the air conditioner like off or turn it like way up so it doesn't kick on.
Yep.
So for the fans, can we call them fans? Or poor listeners, for our people that suffer through this podcast with us and they re-listen to it. But no. if you're hearing a little bzzz noise, that could be the AC today because we're letting it roll since it was off.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go on record right now saying it's a dead heat for me. They're both got delicious noses, slightly different, and one is more pappy-like to me than the other.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Is that because of the sticker?
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that sticker here in a moment. But I'm ready. Are you ready to taste?
Ready to taste?
Let's go for first taste.
Let's
All
do it.
right.
Both of y'all are doing left first, aren't you? Yep.
Oh, me likey. Whatever's in left glass, I like it a lot.
Well, the cool part is you like both of them. So it's going to be
That's
tough
the thing. It's going to be tough to
yeah.
differentiate here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think of this because my left glass, which for the purpose of this, I don't even know if I should tell you what the notes are. So I've been fortunate to have Pappy Van Winkle 15-year-old twice in my life. Once was with a good buddy. Maybe, was it here?
I know we had it here before.
Yes, I think we tried it one time here. And the other time was my buddy Blaine.
Yeah,
Give a
I
shout
met
out to
Blaine at Liquor Barn.
Blaine, yeah. Blaine Atkins, good buddy of mine. He came over during COVID for my birthday and brought a 15-year-old Pappy over, and we had a drink outside and socially distanced from one another, which was fantastic.
Were you celebrating COVID?
We were celebrating my... But where I'm going with this, I can't stop laughing now, is that at that time, I had a 15-year-old Fitz open. I think it was 2020, and we tasted those suckers side by side. And so, sure as I sit here, I'm convinced that the left glass that I'm drinking is the 15, and it just has a lot of nice oak, like
It's like a really soft
like
oak.
a soft oak,
Yeah.
like berry seasoned.
And not too overwhelming with the oak.
If
at
our
all.
glasses are the same,
I know.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
true.
If they're the same,
But I feel like what you're saying is well.
Can I use a descriptor and see if it hits?
yes, yep,
And you might have to take another sip after this.
okay.
Velvety.
Yes.
Velvet,
Yes.
velvet,
Velvety.
velvety. Yep.
Just the actual mouthfeel. It's velvety. to
Yeah, so
me.
that was soft but velvety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, so it's a good sip. And then when I go to the right glass for me is a different animal. The right glass is more candy sweetness.
I almost get a runt out of it.
Runts.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, a little banana runt.
Little banana
just
runt?
other mixed fruit runts. It's got just a confectioner sweetness to it. Oh,
It's good though.
it's like a sweet long finish.
Okay, so I will go officially on the record
Yes.
and backtrack from what I said earlier.
Oh, are you going to tell me that the tank was actually the tank where they got this juice was actually Bernie Lover's house, a fish tank?
No. Now that, like this, so I don't know which one is which.
Okay.
I think I know which one's which.
Okay.
But the one that I think is the Old Fitz 15 is actually really, really good, even though my favorite before that was the 8-year.
Okay.
I think this 15-year is actually dynamite.
Okay.
So I think it's really good.
All right. If you think you know which one is which, this is the mind mystery of all this. And here's the thing. A lot of these Fitz, do you remember which one was it, man? Was it the 17-year or the 19-year? I think it was the 19. I popped a 19-year the one time. We had a drink here. We all thought, okay, that was just all right. And then a month later, not whatever, I brought that sucker back and we tried it again, and it was much better.
Really?
Much better.
When you fresh popped it, we didn't say, oh, it's all right.
yeah, we said it was all
Which was
right.
disappointing. It was kind of like,
Yeah,
it's not
it was
that good.
yeah.
But then it changed a
It
lot.
changed a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
And that not changed in the way that Old Stubborn might, but
Oh, boy. Speaking of that, they have batch 2.
Oh, can't wait.
Batch 2.
spoiler.
And I think
Yeah.
batch 2, I think was it just regular bourbon mash bill. I don't think it was a weeder. I can't remember now. I have to look it up.
Exciting.
yeah.
But these are both very good. These are enjoyable.
Yeah, it's really tough for me because if I have to pick first place, second place here, it's going to be tough because God, that the right glass is just such a sweetie of a whiskey.
So that's what I'm doing, though. I'm actually trying not to guess which one's which. I'm
Okay.
saying
Well, I feel like
Take it for what it is.
I'm trying to say first place, second place, and then once I figure that out, then I'm gonna try to guess which one's which.
Okay.
I like the finish on the left more.
Okay.
The right one is a warmer finish, which is nice when I compare it to the left, which is like velvety and smooth. But I believe both these are very good drinks.
All right. Well, it's not every day that the mashup gets together and has what do we have? Secondary value about $1,400 worth of bottles here sitting on the table.
Well, and I will say the 13-year is
Yep.
courtesy of Mr. Ryan Alves.
Oh, Ryan
This is
hooked it up.
Ryan. This is Ryan's personal bottle. that he let us use for
thank you,
the
sir.
episode.
All right.
And then the
BourbonOutfitter.com.
Yep. And then the other bottle, obviously,
Go to the mashup.
Anthony just opened up. So appreciate you, Anthony. Appreciate you, Ryan.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. This is a whiskey nerd's dream right here. Like to be able to just compare two of these or compare the whole vertical would be the dream. But here we go.
Well, we could do that, but somebody's too tight.
Oh, you know a guy that has a vertical? Hey, I'm going to do it when the time is right. That's my plan. I think that if I find somebody that really wants a vertical and it'd sell one, then the other one's getting opened. I mean, wait, did I just admit I have two?
Wait, Kenny, can we do the Pappy vertical?
We can. Anthony's got all those too.
Yes.
They've outed me here. They're lying about this. They're lying about all of it. It's
About
lies.
all that.
Lies.
He's probably got 3 or 4 verticals of each.
I live in Alaska.
I'm enjoying both of these though.
They're very good.
I did not think I would like the 15. So what I've had before must have not been the 15, man. I mean, they just couldn't have been because this is pretty good.
I don't know if I ever shared a 15 with you. I know I shared it with Steven one time.
Because they were before it was just oaky. It was like watery and oaky.
So how do
whatever
you-
ones I had before. But this
So how
one's
do we
not.
explain, like, on this vertical? I remember having a couple different ages, and I feel like I like the below 10, maybe the 9
I like
or
the
8.
year's my favorite.
But then you would think as it went up, maybe you would like it more because, with the oak and everything. But then I don't like it. But now we're sitting at a 13 and a 15.
Yeah.
And I like
Well,
both
the
of them.
13 you can't think about it being 13 years old. This is literally a Dusty from 1999 Bernheim. Like Bernheim is known for some of the very best juice ever made, like in the world. So Bernheim, can't think about that. But this 15-year-old is very surprising because I'm like you in general. I didn't like the older ones, and we talked about it earlier just before you got here. That's what I was saying. In general, was they're all at 100 proof,
Right.
so you've got the older something gets, the oakier it gets. But then once you add water to water it back down to 100 proof, you water down a lot of the flavors, but you don't water down the oakiness. It's just too oaked.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like a lot of them. But this one doesn't taste too oaky.
We don't know what these came out of the barrel as, right?
I do not. I mean, it's a blend, so there's tons and tons and tons of barrels. But Heaven Hill goes in at 125.
Yep.
And they are known for having hotter juice. They actually they aren't like MGP or like a Smooth Ambler where they will sometimes drop in proof and go down. I mean, they actually do. They go up.
And I know that I'm not usually good at math, but for this being a 15-year-old bottled in 2019, that's 2004, right? Is that right?
Something like that.
Something like 2004 and a Bottled-in-Bond. So that's pretty, I mean, Heaven Hill, this is during a time where everyone's claiming the older whiskey is running out, and yet they just have Bottled-in-Bond 15-year-old weeders sitting around up there.
2009.
Oh, 2009.
Oh, no, because that came out in 2019, right?
It came out in 2019, yeah.
Oh, crap.
So 15 years. That was
2004.
2004.
Damn.
So one of these was distilled 2004. One was distilled 1999.
1999.
Only 5 years
There
apart.
you go.
These are 2 different profiles.
Right.
But that's also just 2 different distilleries, really. This 15-year-old is definitely that. I mean, they say it. That's Heaven Hill,
Right.
mash bill Heaven Hill juice.
Right.
And this other one is Bernheim juice.
Right.
So what you're tasting is 2 different distilleries, man. Pretty wild.
This is crazy.
Ready?
I have a
do you
first
wanna do
place.
it,
I think it just freaking hits me, dude. Hits me hard.
You want to go first?
All right, Steven. So where you at, man? Left glass, right glass.
Well, before I even say anything, I really like them both.
I'm exactly with you on
Yeah,
that.
I
Man.
really like them both. I don't think either one's a bad pour.
I thought one would be bad.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's just having them side by side. You can taste the nuances and compare them.
Yeah.
So with that said, if I have these side by side, I'm gonna pick the left.
Okay.
I like the nosing of it with a little bit more oak in it.
Yeah.
It was Kenny's word, velvety, which
I thought it was-
which was really nice. The ending of it was a lot smoother than the other one, or just like wasn't as warm as the other one.
Okay.
Even though I like the other hug, I just like the left one a little bit better. So I'm gonna go left.
All right. Kenny, if I may, I think I'm going to have you go next because this could be a landmark moment in my journey of Fitz.
Okay.
And so I need to be the tiebreaker if there is a tie to be broken.
Okay. I like my right glass for me,
Okay.
but you poured mine blind. I poured yours blind. So
Right.
my right might be the same as Steven's left or vice versa. But
It's true.
I like my right glass better. I believe my right glass is Steven's left glass because this is velvety. It is deep. It is rich. It's oak, but it's not over oaked. And my left glass for me is that a little bit sweeter. I would describe it as a brighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit sweeter.
Uh-huh.
One more sip. More caramelly, I guess you can say. A little bit caramel sweetness for me on the left. So I go my right glass in my first place, which I think is Steven's left. I think we're picking the same one as first place.
Okay. And then me over here, I have no idea because I could have been mixed up or not.
That's true.
So my candid assessment here is the left glass is going to still be my second place, okay? Mm-hmm. And the reason it's my second place and I started there is because I also believe it's my 15. Mm-hmm. Because this has more of what I would say, and I praise that I'm wrong here because maybe I just forgot how much I like it. This has more of a Heaven Hill profile deep in its bones. At first sip, it's nice. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. It's got nice oak. It's rounded. But then it like dissipates just a tiny bit of the finish, just a little bit whatever. Versus the right glass, which I'm picking is my
That's
first
your winner
place.
is your right place?
That's my first place, which just the fruits for the weeder, like the berry notes and things that come out of there, that cinnamon sweetness, all this kind of stuff just jumps out and it carries all the way through. And to me, that's why I'm picking the right glass. And this may be the moment where I found something I like better than the 15 if I'm right. If I'm right. Okay. If I'm not, then it's my 15. I'm happy.
Okay.
That was a long soliloquy, but I'm a Fitz guy, so I'm in heaven right now.
So now that we picked first place, second place, do you want to try to guess what each one is? Which you already kind of said what you think, or do you just want to do reveal?
Just reveal. I think we all know what's what.
All right. So left glass for you all is the same.
It is.
Right glass is the same.
Really?
So Steven picked left, you picked right.
Yep.
Left glass is the new 13-year.
Really?
Right glass is the 15-year.
Wow.
What?
So, but you said bright fruits and this and that on the right.
Yeah.
That's the Heaven Hill juice. That's the younger. It's not as old. The dusty.
Were you serious?
Dude, the left
I remember
glass.
smelling this before you poured,
and promise you, man.
When I smelt the
Yeah.
left, it smelled newer.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised because
All
I
right.
have it backwards, so I thought
Hang on.
You've always been backwards.
left glass.
Do you have some left in both?
I do.
Let me taste them real quick.
Uh-oh.
Let Mr. Index
That's your
taste
left
it.
glass. That's your right glass. Yeah. Let me just make sure I did not mix them up in my head. Hang on. So that is your right. That's the left.
Right. He just wanted to drink the rest of my whiskey.
Yeah, stingy.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
That's correct.
Oh, notice it took him both glasses to empty before he could figure that out.
No, but
So
so you can with confidence pour this 15-year-old back in your right glass,
right.
and pour 13 in your left glass.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I picked my right glass as my favorite, which I think is the Old Fitz 13.
You're correct.
Okay, and my left
I
glass
didn't reveal it, yes.
is the
Is
15.
the 15, yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy how
Yeah.
we thought the same thing.
But Steven and I picked the same first place.
And I picked 15 over the 13.
And I think that's for you because you love the Fitz in general.
Right.
And this 13 year does not taste like a typical Fitz because it's not. It's not Heaven Hill juice.
It's so good, though.
Oh, it's so good.
it's good.
I love it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And the thing is I psyched myself out because I thought they reversed.
Yeah.
I thought what I was drinking was the 50. It's been a long time since I've had it, but
It's that deep. Just think about Dusties.
Right.
That's that traditional Dusty, just funkier, deeper, richer. So they're both 100 proof,
right.
but the Fitz 13 just drinks like it's richer and up in proof.
You think so?
And the 15 is that brighter, sharper, brighter fruit. Whereas that
Right.
13 year is just like dank, dark. Bleh.
Right. I do think that I haven't got any 13s yet. I'm still waiting on those. And
Bro,
I'm
you better
I
act
need to get
quickly.
quickly. Man.
They were released at the distillery, and there was a big fire sale. Called a fire sale because it was like people were camping out the night before, blah blah blah, and there's a boatload of them released, and like some of them were down to like $5.50.
Yep.
And I missed some of those, but now they've been floating $7.50.
I saw that. I saw that you got some for $6.50 today.
I did get two for $6.50 each today. I did.
And let me guess. People ask you if it was good, and you're like, "No, it's not."
Nope.
Not good.
But here's the thing, man. I think once some people start opening those up,
Yeah.
And when I say people, like a lot of people that got them, that camped out overnight, they don't even drink the stuff.
Oh, yeah, they're not
They just flip it. They're going to sell it. But I think once it gets in the hands of people that actually enjoy premium whiskey,
Appreciate.
that price is going to freaking skyrocket, I think. So I would definitely grab them sooner than later if I were you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you, Stephen, did you pour some more of the 13?
I poured more 13.
Is it that velvety,
Yes.
just deep? Yeah, man. It's legit.
It's good.
It's legit.
I didn't pour myself more for 13, but I do have the 15. I did pour a little
But I
bit.
do want to clarify something. When I said I relate this to the Old Forester birthday bourbon,
Right.
I'm just talking about the Fitz line in general, with a high secondary being just good. This would, in my opinion, crush any Old Forester birthday bourbon. In my opinion, though, I just want to make sure I wasn't comparing the two like equal that way. I'm just I was trying to give it like a fair and equal comparison to it.
It's fine, Kenny. You know,
But no. I think we'll crush it. Now the thing with B is, like you said, if we had like maybe like a lot B, it's 12 years old.
Right.
If we had a Pappy 15,
right.
Let me go look real quick. I don't think I do, but hang on a second. All right.
So,
back.
real quickly,
Shady's back.
one thing I wanted to make a point about was I was completely confused when we were blinding. I was thinking my left glass, which was the 13, was the 15, and vice versa. So when I was giving some of my notes and talking about what I liked, I was fully expecting the left glass to perform well. That's the thing. They're both good whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that the left glass was 15, and I was going to pick the 13 over the 15. That's how I felt. And even though that happened where, you know, they're both good, it's just funny because I was giving different kinds of sets of notes, even though I ended up saying they're both phenomenal. Uh-oh.
Pre-drinker.
He's
Calm
making a
down.
mess over here.
Crash and burning.
All right.
What do you got over there, sir?
I have a Pappy 15,
Are you serious?
and I have
The
Lot
value
B,
of the table just went up.
and I have Lot
Okay.
B.
The value is now up. Are you going to tell us definitively whether you would take them over top of them? But
I am. So give me 1 second here. Boom.
okay.
Pappy 15 is good.
Really?
But now I'm going to go back to the 15-year Old Fitz. Yeah. You got some of your 15 poured over there? You finished that last swig of that Pappy 15. That's more vanilla caramel tasting than the Old Fitz. But if you look at how much is this Old Fitz 15? 500, 650, 500, 550? Yeah. Pappy 15, even with the soft market right now, is like 1,500. Those two are so close together that there's no possible way I could open a Pappy 15 compared to Old Fitz 15.
So I want to load up on these.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So, fellas, would you pass, try, or buy on the Old Fitz 13-year-old?
Well,
you go first.
I will jump in since I was last on the blinds. I'm going to buy it, and here's how I hope I can buy it. I really hope I can get 2 of them at a reasonable price. And when I say reasonable, I mean if I can get them anywhere under $400, I'm excited. Okay, because they're distillery releasing at $230. Haven't really hit retail. We don't really know what's going to happen in the market. Because I picked the 15 over it, and I know I can get those probably for $550 if there's not too many people who know about it. It's tough for me to pay $700. So I would say on the 13-year, objectively, I am a try, which is weird.
Ooh.
Kenny, he's a fool.
You're a try. Okay.
But, I mean, I'm going to try to get 2 no matter what. But I'm a try because I did pick the 15 over the 13.
Well, like we've talked about, though, multiple times on here, if you can get any of these kind of allocated bottles at retail,
Right.
it's a buy all day long.
That's true.
You're just
I'm talking about for me personally.
But you're
yes, it's a buy. It's a buy all day.
at retail, but
Right.
it's so unlikely you're going to get one at retail.
Right,
So
exactly.
try definitely is very fitting.
Yes,
for
if
you.
I can get a case of Old Fitz 13 tomorrow at retail, I'm buying every single one of them.
Right,
so
right.
let me clarify. Sorry, go ahead.
But
Yeah,
that
compared
makes
to the
sense.
blind tonight, I'm a try, but
Yep.
I might be the minority there because we got people saying the 14-year-old red label is the best, which I do not get at all.
Yep. I'll go next. We'll let Steven round us out here. I am a buy, and that's very weird for me to say that on Old Fitz, because in general I'm not a buy on the
First
other
time
ones.
ever.
Yeah, because if you like Dusties at all, I mean, if you like Dusties and you like dank and you like funky, I mean, this is it, man. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm in mine for around 650. So I was even a buy at 650.
Right.
Just being honest with you. So obviously at retail they're buys, but just for listeners, personally myself, I was even a buy at 650. So that's where I'm actually sticking to a buy.
All right.
And Steven, you're up, my man.
Well, I'm going to ignore the high price value of this bottle. Just for the liquid, I'm going to buy.
All right.
Yeah, it's really good. Hence, my comparison already between the two bottles.
Is it worthy of the 25th anniversary of Bernheim Distillery?
Yes.
All right. There you go. Well, I don't know what else I can say about this except for thanking you for making my dream come true to be able to try this tonight.
And thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Sorry, I said Kenny, but what am I doing? It's Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Kenny's
I went and got the bottle.
Kenny's burned some gas.
Kenny gas mileage. He's got the gas mileage in there.
I do have one important thing to say.
Yes, go ahead, please.
We did not try Dream Cask. Boom.
What did we try?
We tried a single cask. It was a distillery only. It's called Friends of Middleton.
Oh, okay.
And the Dream Casks are out of this world. Silly.
Okay.
But that was awesome. It tasted absolutely amazing and really enjoyed it a lot. That one I do remember. It was Friends of Middleton.
But it was Redbreast.
No.
We didn't try any Redbreast.
So what I did is I pulled out my Redbreast 19-year-old to try against that Friends of Middleton.
What distillery is Friends of Middleton?
Middleton is that Bushmill Hole people. And Redbreast is their own thing, I believe. And if I'm misspeaking, keep in mind this is a facts optional podcast. So, but Middleton, I think, is like Jameson, Bushmills, and a third one. I forgot what they are.
Well, it's Irish whiskey anyway.
But
so
all this will be clarified in about 2 or 3 weeks. Dark's coming back into town for another barrel pick. So when he comes in town, we'll have to do an episode in his Cavalon and get some clarification on some Irish.
That sounds good to me. What do you say, sir?
Good day, sir. And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.